Happy graduation month, everyone. Can I get an applause for that? Sorry. I get a little excited sometimes. It is 6:30 p.m., and I would like to call to order this meeting of the Princeton Independent School District Board of Trustees on May the 19th, 2025, and announce that a quorum of the board members is present. We are missing 3 board members. There are other senior activities that I'm sure you're aware of, and they are there, so we can be 2 places at once. So I thank them for doing that. The meeting was duly called and has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551. I'm Cindy Darland, President of the School Board, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees and our Superintendent, Donald McIntyre, we welcome our guests, our honorees, and our staff. Thank you so very much for coming. Now, we will honor our flags. Will you please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please pray with me. Dearest Heavenly Father, we praise you for sacrifices that have been made by parents, teachers, students, administrators, and so many more to once more see a class graduating from Princeton High School. Let these seeds that have been planted be watered with perseverance and bloom in due season. Give all of us the wisdom and courage to keep showing up for the daily battles and help us have unshakable faith. Please be with us as we go forward tonight, making plans for our district to be successful in raising up leaders for our nation. Please lead us as we serve others, for it's in Jesus' most precious name we pray. Amen. And now, my very favorite part of the board meeting, which is student recognition. We are so excited to see so many faces here that are going to be honored tonight. I'm going to ask you, when somebody is coming up to get an award, I want you to pretend like we just won the Stars game. And I want you to honor them in that way. Would you do that, please? Thank you so very much. First, we'll honor FFA.
Mr. Webster, would you join us at the mic?
Good evening. My name is Mr. Webster. I'm one of the agricultural science teachers here at Princeton. I teach at the high school and at Lovelady. We're here tonight to recognize 7 of our team members that advanced to the state contest in CDEs. CDEs are career development events, and they take a career in the agriculture industry and create a contest around it. So examples are applied ag engineering, floral design, vet science, poultry evaluation. So there's a ton of different ways our kids can be involved. The 2 teams that we had that advanced to the state contest were the floral team and the vet science team. The floral team placed 29th at the state contest out of 419 teams, and the vet science team placed 63rd out of 586 teams. So awesome accomplishments. And we have 4 of the team members here tonight. 2 of those, 2 team members are at those senior events that are happening, and then 1 couldn't make it because she's babysitting her little brother. But I'll have y'all come up and as you're recognized. She's not here. Do you want to still read her name even if she's not here?
Yeah. She's not here tonight, but we still want to recognize Upkar Kar for state qualifier for the contest in floriculture. On, off, I'm at that age. Yay! And Upneat. We'd also like to recognize Upneat Kar for a state qualifier in floriculture. We would be honored to recognize Miss Isabel Mondragon Oh, she's not here. We still want to recognize her. And we would also like to recognize, please give a big round of applause for Brooklyn Beal. Yay, Brooklyn. All right, Brooklyn. Congratulations. Thank you.
Brooklyn, will you come up here to the front, please? Thank you.
How do you follow that? All right, okay, what I'd like to bring up is Aubrey Anderson. Thank you, very good job. Thank you. Next will be Rebecca Pierce. So if my dog have a problem, I can call you, right? And Rosalind Pratt. Now, I hope your price is going to be cheaper than hers.
All right, for our next group, we want to recognize our elementary science fair winners. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Rachel Nix. I'm the Executive Director of Elementary Education here in Princeton ISD. So each year, all of our fourth grade students participate in the science fair in their fourth 9 weeks of instruction. Students choose a topic with the help of their teachers, more like a question really, and then they navigate their way through the entire scientific process. They establish a hypothesis, they research their topic, they create data tables, they do everything through the entire experiment. A lot of them they do at school, but it's also nice their parents get to participate with them at home as well. And then at the end, they come up with their conclusion, and then they take all of that information and they put it on their science fair boards, which you can see a lot of them right on the side of the room. The top 3, every campus, there are 3 categories, and the top 3 in each category are awarded a prize, but tonight we are recognizing the grand champions from each of our 8 elementary school campuses, and so we are very excited for that. And before we bring them up, we have a video to share with you.
My name is Bailey. My school is Mary Mayfield Elementary. My name of my project is Roast and Toast. What my project was about is I have to do which type of cup will keep a hot drink warm longer, paper, plastic, or styrofoam, or glass. My hypothesis was I think the styrofoam cup would do the best at keeping a hot beverage hot longer than the other cup because the styrofoam cup seems like it is a thicker cup and will hold heat better. The most surprising thing that I learned is that the styrofoam cup was the cup that stayed the longest, that kept the coffee warm. And my favorite part of doing the project is because I got to measure the heat of the coffee.
My name is Bennett Sarber. I go to James Elementary in Princeton ISD. And the name of my project is Which Substance Makes a Gummy Bear Grow the Largest? I thought baking soda would make the gummy bear grow the largest because of the stuff that it had, but I didn't know it would actually make it dissolve. My most surprising thing that I learned was water actually made it grow the largest out of vinegar and baking soda. My favorite part of doing this project was actually doing it at home with my family.
My name is McKenna Robinson. I go to Harper Elementary School. The name of my project is How Pepsi Being Open Affects Its Fizziness. Before I started my project, I thought that the Pepsi that was open for 40 minutes would be less fizzy because when you open a soda bottle, the carbon dioxide that is trapped inside escapes and therefore causing the soda to become less fizzy. The most surprising thing that I learned is how soda became less fizzy, and then my favorite part of doing the project would probably be the fact that after the project was over, I got to drink the Pepsi.
My name is Wendy Charles. I go to school at Low Elementary, and my name of the project is how does temperature affect a magnet's strength? My hypothesis was if I take 3 magnets and place them on a cold, warm, and hot surface, then the magnet on the hot surface will become weaker and possibly stop being magnetic because the particles within the magnet speed up, become more sporadic, and begin to misalign, and a reduction in the magnetic force takes place. The most surprising thing I learned was, the hot one became less magnetic, and less paper clips were on there. And my favorite part was learning about magnets and how they lose magnetic temperatures.
Avery. I go to Smith Elementary, and the name of my project is Busy Wizzy. And I thought that the regular Coke was gonna get more because it had more sugar in it. I thought that it was gonna produce more fizz. And then the most surprising thing that I learned was that the Diet Coke one, because it has less sugar in it. So, yeah. And then my favorite part of doing this was getting to decorate it and think of the name of it. So it was very cool.
My name is Felix Bauer. I go to Green Elementary. The name of my science fair project was Rainbow Tie and Jello. And before I started my project, my hypothesis was that the least complicated Jello flavor would set the fastest, and the most complicated would set the latest. The most surprising thing I learned was that if you have more molecules in one flavor, it takes them way less time to solidify. And if you have less molecules, like in the orange flavor, it takes more time for them to group up together and solidify. And my favorite part of this project was basically when I finished my project, I could eat it all.
My name is Penny Toll, and I go to Lacey Elementary. The name of my project is called Got Bacteria, and before I started my project, I thought that the sponge would get first, and the toothbrush would get second, because the sponge is like really dirty and it's a breeding ground for bacteria. And the most surprising thing that I learned is that I thought that the Tulsi wouldn't get a place since like people say these two are the most bacteria, but I thought that they would, but it didn't. He got third, and so this is kind of gross. I thought it was because every time they put it in like the keyhole, it like got more bacteria on it. And then my favorite part of doing this project is seeing how much gross bacteria there is on all this stuff, and it was kind of gross.
So which one was the dirtiest?
The sponge.
The sponge was, okay.
And it had a smile face on it, so extra more bacteria. And second was toothbrush, and then keys, which is, I think it's this one. Got this second.
My name is Ivan, and I go to Garden Elementary. My name of my project was Color Me Warm Heat Observation. Before I started the project, I thought that the dark colored shirt would affect more heat because the amount of heat it absorbs. The most exciting thing I learned was that you can dress to be warm and how other things about heat. My favorite part of doing the project was me playing outside and searching at school.
Wow, I was fixated on all that. It was really interesting. I remember last year they had one about the 5-second rule, and I found out, I'm trying to remember, there's really not a 5-second rule. It doesn't really matter. It's going to have bacteria on it if it drops it. But I have this theory that if it's hard, it's got to be okay. If it's like squishy or wet, then it's going to take more bacteria. But that's one for you guys to do one year. All right, well, we'd like to recognize a couple people here. McKenna Robinson. Come on up. And Felix Bauer. Wendy Charles. And Penelope Toll.
What an impressive bunch of scientists we have. We're so proud of y'all. The next honoree is going to be Ivan Olvera from Godwin Elementary. Next, we would like to honor Bennett Sarber from James Elementary. And now we have Bailey Kennedy from Mayfield Elementary. It's a maze. You have to figure out how to get here first. That's part of the science. Congratulations. You're so proud. And Ethan Benitez. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Smith Elementary. Okay, thank y'all so very much for applauding and making them feel special, because they are. And now it's time that if you'd like to take your leave, you're certainly welcome to do so. You may take your boards also, and we'll just give you a time to get up and do that if you so wish. If you'd like to stay for the whole meeting, please do so. Congratulations. Thank you for giving me a heads up. Okay, I didn't get it. It's 551.074 for executive session.
Sure.
I think that's right. Let's make sure.
Sounds good. To be under personnel, whichever one that is. I don't remember. I can look it up.
I think, I've got it right here. Let's just double check me. I think it's 074.
Yes.
Okay, I remember.
Look at you. It's the most common one. It's getting better.
I'm getting better, yeah. Thank you for waiting patiently, and come on in and find a seat. We need a bigger boardroom. The board will now entertain comments from visitors. Any person wishing to address the board during the period reserved for public comment at a board meeting must sign up to be heard in accordance with district policy BED local. The board is authorized to make reasonable limitations and regulations governing public comment. As such, the board will allow 3 minutes for the speakers. The board will discuss agenda items later in the meeting during consideration. The board is not permitted to discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on the agenda for tonight's meeting. The board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest possible administrative level a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. Each of these processes provides that if a resolution cannot be achieved administratively, the person may appeal the administrative decision to the board as a properly posted agenda item. For further information on those policies, please contact the administration office. Speakers during public comment period are responsible for the words they speak during public comment and will be solely liable for any damages if it is later determined that the word spoken injures a person's reputation, exposes the person to public hatred, contempt, ridicule, or causes financial injury. Under Texas law, PISD is immune from any claims for defamation. We have one person that has signed up to speak. And when you come forward, please state your name again, in case I mispronounce it, and say where you live, what city. I'm going to introduce to you Robert Brown. Robert, thank you for coming.
My name's Robert Brown. I live in Branch Estates here in Princeton. We've lived here for almost 20 years. Tonight I want to talk to you about the special needs program that Princeton has. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, 15% of school students receive special education services under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. This percentage is confirmed in Pew Research Center data. Princeton's 24-25 enrollment was 10,272 students, which was up 986 over the previous year. These numbers suggest approximately 1,540 special needs children are enrolled in Princeton. The Texas average for special education staffing is 1 teacher per 15 students. A regular teacher may have anywhere from 18 to 20. Approximately 550 teachers are in Princeton. That breaks down to 18.6 students per teacher. However, according to the Texas average, there should be 102 special needs teachers. At 15 students per, which is the Texas average, which is higher than the national average, 102 special needs teachers leaves 448 regular teachers. The regular teachers would still have 19 students each. 70.6% is the average of special needs children that graduate. That means out of that 1,540, 1,087 will graduate, 453 will not. The couple of people that I have had experience with in the special education department here at Princeton have been very, very good. However, it needs to be acted upon quicker. Got my grandson to come live with us February. Within the 20 days that's legitimate for Princeton to start their own IEP process. In the meantime, the law says when a student transfers to another state, the new district must provide comparable services while conducting their own evaluation. That was not done. All the information had been faxed in. It wasn't acted on quick enough. We're a month in, ran into a lot of problems. I think teachers need to be teachers with a degree, not just have a certification that can be obtained with 21 credit hours, which breaks down to about 60 hours worth of actual work. Within 2 weeks, nobody can be trained how to handle and deal with all the special needs children that are here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to let the board know your thoughts. Number 7 is information items and reports. Our first one is a construction update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Colton Barnes with Claycomb Architects, here with May's construction update. Starting off with Tom Bonchbach Middle School. For site work, we have track and field work that continues. The grease trap for the kitchen has been installed, and light pole bases are in progress. For the building, the storm shelter, roof slab has been poured, as you can see on the left there. Structural steel erection is complete, and roofing install continues. Also, as you can see on the lower picture, the steel light gauge framing infill has begun. Looking forward, we see the joist and deck completion and the install of exterior glazing and masonry beginning. Next, across the street, the new admin and warehouse buildings. Interior finishes continue at admin. Data and power install is complete at admin, along with the masonry install. MEP rough-in is complete at warehouse, and the interior finishes have begun there. Looking forward, we will see flooring install start at admin, and then the glazing and masonry begin to be installed at the warehouse building. Then for stadium, the foundations are complete, even though we had some rough time with the weather not playing nicely. CMU at the concessions and restrooms have began, and then the steel erection has began. And if you saw on your way in today, the press box is very visible. Quite a bit of update in the last week since I've even had these pictures. Structural still continues, fire lane and flat work, paving pours will begin in the future, and then the erection of bleacher steel is set to begin as well. And then finally, for Carroll Elementary School, the French drain install has begun, and the below-grade utility work continues for the site work. For the building, slab pours are continuing, and the ICF wall at the storm shelter has begun to go up. Looking forward, we see the completion of foundations and then continued vertical construction in the rest of the wings. Were there any questions? There is a little bit. We are working with POG to make up for that time, and then looking at other options on how we can get potential like additional work hours during the day, talking to the city to help us get back on track for what was lost.
And we have gotten permission from the city on the stadium project that we will be running 2 shifts on some of the steel erections starting this week to try to make up some of the time that we lost on getting the foundations poured. And so we've got that approved, and we've talked to the homeowners on the adjoining properties to let them know that that's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope the public realizes the enormity of what's happening. It's amazing. Next is the enrollment update, which is why it's happening.
So, from last month to this month, we actually saw some growth that happened in the middle of the month, and then we had a drop-off towards the end, so we only netted one additional student from last month to this month. It's still amazing to me. You know, used to we would never get new move-ins at this time of year, and but we're seeing that growth still moving throughout the entire school year. From year to year, you can see we're up 1,405 students from May of last year to May of this year. So we've stayed at that 1,400 students above all year long as the growth has continued to go. Primarily at the elementary schools with 813 of them being there. Looking at projections, we are 809 students over what we projected to be total. So an additional 800 students more than what we expected to have at this point in time. And then we just added this on there just so you can see, you know, historically from April of 2014, we were at 3,645 students, and then you can see those percentage growths as we've gone to this year that we hit that 10,338 in April, which was a 15.6% growth. So if you look down those percentage, you know, this is our second largest growth by percentage ever. And for those of you watching the news, you know, the big news coming out this year that Princeton, Texas, the #1 fastest growing city in the nation, and we are definitely seeing the results of that when we look at the number of students that are coming into our district. Any questions? All right. Appreciate it. Keep moving, I got you.
From the words of a babe. Now the security report.
You have that in your package for review.
Please remember to ask Mr. McIntyre if you have any questions about that. And now drug testing.
Again, we included in your package the results of the latest round of drug testing at campuses. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
And now something really exciting, the teacher incentive allotment.
Mr. Gunnels has a presentation for us tonight.
Mr. Gunnels is not as tall as Mr. Barnes. So just a brief overview. I know a lot of y'all had asked to just see how this program has grown over time. This is something that is done at no cost to the district. This comes through funding that has been set aside by the state. So just to give you an idea of where we are, again, in the program, there are 3 different levels of performance that can be earned. There is a recognized designation, an exemplary designation, and a master designation, with master being the highest. When a teacher earns this, it stays on their certificate for 5 years. So it is actually placed on their TEA certificate, their SBEC certificate, and it travels with them. So if they were to make a horrible decision and leave and go to another district, it would travel with them. But thankfully, we have not seen that be the case. Generally, when teachers are designated, they stay with us. We have had a few retire, but we've also had a few decide to stay with us after earning designations. And so in the inception, the first year of the program, 2022-2023, we had a total of 51 teachers that received designations, and you can see the breakdown there. Into the 23-24 school year, that figure grew to 92 teachers. And then in the most recent year of designations, we had 145 teachers receive designations, and with those designations, hold on, you're really going to want to clap at the next one, because with those designations, they received a total of $1.29 million in additional funding for them.
Wow, that's amazing.
The great thing about the program is they receive that for the next 5 years. So they receive a lump sum check, the way we structure that, in May of the designation. And in the next slide, I'll show you what those designations actually are. But the other thing that I wanted to point out is since the inception of the program, our teachers have received $2.5 million in additional funding through this program. And so that is fantastic, and it's all from their hard work, but I would also like to recognize the principals that make that possible as well. One of the things that we have to be very careful about in talking with other schools is how closely our ratings align, because the designations are based on a teacher's growth, the growth of their students, but also their observation ratings from their appraisers. And if our ratings get too far off, if they're not aligned statistically, then the state won't validate our program. So it's a lot of work on the administrators' parts to make sure that they are rating and appraising the same way every time they go into a classroom. And so I just wanted to recognize them as well. But let's go to the next slide. So each level of designation carries a different level of funding, and then each campus receives a different level, and that's based on the demographics of the campus. It's based on whether or not a campus is rural, and it's based on whether or what the socioeconomic rating of the campus is. And so a campus with higher need students, teachers would receive more funding. Currently, Mayfield is our highest designated campus, or receives the highest level of designation for teachers on that campus. But you can see that if you are a master teacher, that is a very significant sum of money. And really, they all are. But I mean, when you consider that a designation earns you that for the next 5 years,
It's amazing.
It is. I mean, it's fantastic. It's paying off a house. It's putting kids through college. It's really a wonderful thing that we're able to do for our staff here. And then that's a breakdown of the number of designees that each campus has and the total amount that those teachers received this year through the program. So, any questions? And just a couple of changes. So for this year's designations, we have changed our program. We have removed attendance as a component. That was something that we did revise and take that off. And we will be using MAP data to calculate growth for our K through 3 teachers. So we think that that's going to be a better gauge of their effectiveness. Thank you.
I say we get all of our teachers on it.
I'm doing my dead level best. But we are currently at 23% designated.
Yay! 23%, that's good. Okay, and last but certainly not least is our graduation.
Mr. Boring has some information to share with us tonight.
Thank you. Good evening, school board. Just wanted to share a few things with you. Newsflash for you. Graduation's this Thursday, so we're ready. I hope you guys can make it. And it's a wonderful event. If you look around the room, it's kind of cool. Everybody has a little bit of responsibility for getting those kids to the finish line. So we're excited. We're going to graduate 620 students this year, and we're getting bigger. And possibly next year, we talked about change of venues, but Dr. Robinson, the assistant principal at PHS, has prepared for you a little gift bag. So if you look in your gift bag, I would like to give you a few reminders. Go ahead and open them up.
Where's mine?
Yeah, I have yours in my truck.
You got one on your desk? Oh, so I just got left out? Got it.
If you look in there, we have a save the date and a menu for you. You guys have been there in the past, so you kind of know the routine. We were able to catch the other 3 board members at the athletic banquet and let them know exactly what's going on. But we have some tickets and passes for you in there. We have a parking pass and maps that show you exactly where to go, where to park. And like I said, you guys know already. We have Mr. Hackman and some others that are going to be there at the door letting you in. So we hope you can join us a little bit early for a meal, get to sit down, relax, get to talk before we start graduation at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6. So it's going to be, it's here. So also, we've thrown in some T-shirt, lanyards, some fun stuff for you. So I'm here to answer any questions you have. Yes, some candy as well. I think we all need it. Yeah.
So is this what we're supposed to wear?
No, sir. But do you have any questions that I can answer tonight? We look forward to another awesome graduation there at Allen Event Center. Like I said, it is a special event.
I'm looking forward to being there. I'm sure we all are, and appreciate all your staff and all the work that's gone into getting this ready. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you so very much. And this is the nicest presentation we've ever had, so thank you very much.
Well, I owe that, again, Dr. Robinson, Mr. Heiligers, I owe that a lot to them at putting that together for you. So thank you again.
Very, very nice. Thank you. Well, we love it.
We didn't believe you did it anyways.
Okay, number 8 is the consent agenda. Does any trustee have an item that they want pulled for separate consideration on the consent agenda?
Please just be aware that we've added a updated contracts pending list to you. We had a bunch that got added from before, so that's at your place. We weren't able to add that to the board book today because of the internet problems we were having. So make sure you review that sheet that's at your desk.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Motion was made by Dwayne to accept it. Is there a second? John seconds. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, if you don't mind, we would like to take a moment to introduce a few people.
Of course.
So I'm pleased to introduce to you Miss Haley Crawford. She has 9 years total in education. She has been here in the district for 4 years. She participated in our admin academy, did a fantastic job of that, and she is going to be one of the new assistant principals for Bunchbaugh Middle School.
Ms. Crawford, do you have a speech ready for us?
I don't have a speech, but I'm very excited. I love working here. I bought a house here. I can't afford to or plan on moving anytime soon. But I'm just very, very excited, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
And I have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Kelsey Gross. Kelsey has 6 years' experience in education. She's currently a 4th grade teacher at Harper Elementary. She also participated in our admin academy that we had this year. And she and her husband both are proud PISD staff members. And so we are excited to have her join us as one of our elementary assistant principals next year.
If you'd like, the floor is yours.
We've really enjoyed our time being in Princeton. We're new to it, but we have been welcomed with open arms, so I'm excited to continue helping and growing the district.
I'm excited to introduce Miss Lori Davis. She's going to come in and be the newest assistant principal at Matei Middle School. She's got 12 years of experience in education, 3 of those being as an assistant principal. She's lives within our district, but she is coming to us from Dallas ISD, and we're excited to have her.
Very excited to be here. Kind of similar. I did a lot of research after I had our daughter on what school districts. I knew Dallas just wasn't the mold that I wanted to raise her in, and so we did a lot of research. And before I got the job, we even bought a house. Same thing. We did not move. So we are locked in for what, 30 years, 35? So very excited to work in here and to bring some good work. And excited to be as well.
We're so very excited to have you all. Thank you for choosing us, and we're so glad we chose you. So, next, we'll go to number 9, The campus improvement plans.
You have a red line copy of those in your packet. Hopefully, you've taken time to review those. If you have any questions, I'm sure our principals and our curriculum department will be glad to answer those.
Did we get the dishwasher taken care of?
I'm so sorry. She will not be back.
I need her to stay and keep telling them no so we can speed up.
Are there any questions?
Well, I did get a chance to read through some of those campus improvement plans. I got to say, you guys did a lot of work. I did notice at the high school, you guys are looking to do a military readiness, trying to improve that. It's good to see that. Are we close on the count that means the program would be more supported?
So we did fill out an application this year. We finally qualified that we could apply for a JROTC instead of the NDCC program. Unfortunately, they're not real optimistic about us getting our charter this year with some of the cuts that have been happening in the federal government. One of the areas is JRTC expansion at the moment. So we are on the list now. We are on the wait list, and so we are hopeful, but the program's still growing. We're over 100 kids, and hopefully, if we don't get it this year, maybe next year. But we are headed in the right direction, which is a great sign.
Yay, let's keep building that program.
Love to see the improvement.
There's no other
Anybody else?
questions?
If not, may I have a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented for the campus improvement plans.
Dwayne made a motion to approve as presented the campus improvement plan. Is there a second? Julia seconded. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Number 10, consider and act on the RFP 25.004, replacement of cafeteria equipment at Godwin, PHS, Canup, Harper, and Lacey.
So in your packet, we gave you a list of those items that we put out for RFP. We've got quotes back from multiple companies, and the recommendation is to go with A-Smart as they were the low bidder and have done plenty of business with us in the past. Just an easy reminder too, the funds that we're using to replace this equipment that is going out is all money that we've made from the program, and that must be spent back on the program.
Any discussion, any question? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from A-Smart for replacement equipment.
Julia made the motion to approve the bid from A-Smart for replacement equipment. Is there a second? John seconded. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so very much, Board. Number 11, Texas Association of School Boards Advocacy Resolutions.
So I provided that information in your packet. If there was any resolutions, I'd ask you to fill those forms out and bring those to the meeting.
Is today the due date for that?
No, I believe we actually have another full month. Amy, as long as we get those in by July, actually, aren't we good? So if you didn't have one, but you decide there is something you want to propose, but we would have to have it on June's agenda because it has to be approved by the board as a whole, not as an individual board member. So if you didn't bring one tonight, that's fine. But if you do plan to submit one, you will need to let me know in time to put it on the June agenda.
Is that good? Anybody else have any conversation? No, we can move on since there's no action. Number 12, Southern sanitary sewer repairs.
Okay, so unfortunately, behind Southern Middle School, we have an issue where the runoff water from the parking lot and the tennis courts and everything that runs off the roof that comes off the back of the building has eroded the dirt above where the sanitary sewer line runs from the high school down to the manhole cover. And when I say it's eroded, Mr. Lovelady, what are we, about 15, 16 feet deep that it's? 25. So it's a lot. And so What we've had to do is work with the city and with POG and with our architects and engineer to try to come up with a plan to remedy this. So we've shored up the line and made it work to get through the rest of the year, but as soon as we release students, we need to begin repair, which will be basically recompacting the soil underneath the line, stabilizing the sanitary sewer line, rebuilding the dirt up the 16 to 25 feet, and then coming back in with some concrete runners to get the runoff off of our property all the way down to the creek. We will also be extending the underground pipes that come off the top of the building where the water is pushed underneath through the gutter system, and we'll need to extend that underground out to get it to the creek as well. So that, one, we fix the pipe, and then two, we fix the erosion problem so we don't end up here again.
My question is, how in the world did we get to this point?
Best plans were made and they were wrong. I mean, you know, we designed a plan to get the water off our property, but underestimated the amount of water that was going to be run off. You know, this wouldn't be the first time we've had to come back and remediate water runoff. If down here off of the stadium parking lot, we had to come back and add some guttering, those cutouts that you see in the road next to there and at the end of the stadium, same thing, that, you know, underestimate how much water is going to hit those at peak seasons, and over years it causes problems that you learn that you got to remediate. So
Who owns that area? Is that our property or is that city?
so it goes from our property through an easement to a city manhole. Is that correct, Phil?
And who signed off on the design we currently have?
The county would have been the ones doing the permitting at the time, because when we built Southard, we were in the county. And then after Southard was built, we annexed it into the city. So all the design plans and what was asked for and what was approved by Collin County. But now we're in city limits.
So does the city have any responsibility for this? And obviously the county's not stepping up to help with this. They signed off on it. Why are we having to foot the bill?
It's a great question. We've had meetings, they were involved. When the end of those meetings came, no one else felt that they had a responsibility to pay for any of those repairs. And we do feel that it's our runoff that's causing the problem, and we need to step up and take care of the problem. If nobody else is going to, sometimes we have to do it, whether others should help out or not.
Has the city been approached at participating in this or not?
Yes, we did have discussions where we asked for some participation and was told no.
Any other comments?
It's all a private line.
Phil, I'm sorry, will you go to the mic just so the people online can hear?
Yeah, through that easement until where it hits is all a private line, and their stance is just like it is on your property, that anything from the meter box into your house is your responsibility, anything from the meter box. And so from our school to that connection, they're feeling that is our responsibility because it's all a private line that's owned and designed by us.
My understanding was that we connected a bit before that sewer manhole area. Is that not correct?
We're connected from the school all the way to the creek. Is either, even through the manhole, is a private line that was installed there, right, James? That was an easement that was donated, and we put in that line, because at the time we were doing this, if you remember, White Wing right across the road was about to go in. We thought they were going to run all of that line, in which case White Wing would have owned a lot of that line and put it in for the city. But that was around that 2007, you know, everything slowed down. White Wing didn't go in. The school was opening. We had to step in towards the end and actually put all of that sewer line in. And so we did install all of that, and it's a private line, and then within an easement that we own, not a city easement, that gets it all the way to the creek.
Okay. Are we comfortable that this fix is going to solve it for some time?
Being the fact that it's going to be put into a concrete flume,
you won't have it running over the ground, and so that should fix the erosion problem.
Thanks, Phil.
Any other questions, concerns? If not, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the repairs at Southern as we presented.
John made the motion to approve the repairs at Southern as presented. Is there a second? Julia seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Number 13, consider an act on the termination of the contingent fee contract with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott, LLP. Said contract being for the collection of the delinquent government receivables owed to Princeton Independent School District.
So if you've read through your notes there, item number 13 and 14 really are kind of a combo unit. What we're asking to do is we're wanting to change our delinquent tax attorneys from Purdue, Brandon, and Fielder to Abernathy, Roeder, and Boyd. Just feel at this time that would be a better financial decision for the district to make that change. So it does require two actions. It requires us terminating the contract with Purdue, Brandon, and Fielder, and then it requires us on item 14 to approve a contract with Abernathy, Roeder.
Any discussion or questions?
So we worked through the issues that when we were looking at before, and you feel comfortable with that?
Yes, I feel that's the best decision for the district.
Okay, I'll make a motion to terminate the contingent fee contract with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Moat LLP. Said contract being for the collection of delinquent taxes and government receivables owed to the district.
Dwayne made the motion. I'm not going to repeat it, what he said. And John seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Number 14, consider an act on a contingent fee contract with Abernathy, Roeder, Boyd, and Hullett, PC, pursuant to the Texas Tax Code, Section 6.30, and Government Code 2254.1036. Said contract being for the collection of delinquent government receivables owed to the Princeton Independent School District.
I'll make a motion to terminate any contract with Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, Moat.
Sorry.
That was already there, yeah.
Am I okay?
No.
No?
No, approve the contingent fee
Oh,
agreement.
yeah, sorry.
go to-
I just repeated that first part in the notes there. I apologize. Just needs to
I'll
go
do it,
after the
Dwayne.
and.
Approve, yeah, I've got it. I make a motion to approve the contingent fee agreement with Abernathy, Roeder, Boyd, and Hullett for the collection of the delinquent taxes. Is there a second?
Second.
Dwayne and Julia seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And now, number 15 is our budget amendment.
I've asked Ms. Boydman to share some information there.
I heard you guys give Mac fits last month.
We didn't let him comment on the stuff because we wanted you to comment on it, and we didn't need the.
Okay, so you have questions from that one? This budget amendment has the DAP reno that you guys approved last board meeting. It has the sewer at Southern that you guys just approved. And it also has some additional AC units. If you remember in the budget presentation, I said we would be back. I just wasn't sure what that number would be. And this is where Mr. Lovelady feels to be able to make sure that we're up and running in August and getting all of those old units replaced and ready to go. So everybody has AC because we know how hot it's going to be August.
Make a recommendation for a motion to approve as presented.
I'd like to second that. Dwayne made the motion, I seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes. Thank you. Number 16 is the hiring of the Assistant Superintendent of Finance. I have been told that we're needing to go into executive session. So we will go into discuss personnel, Texas Government Code 551.074. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Dwayne made a motion. Is there a second? John seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. We are going into executive session at, I think, 7:31. Do we want to
Are you okay
dismiss?
with me dismissing? Staff, you are welcome to leave at this time if you would like to. Thank you for being here.
7:31, not bad.
be in there because we've looked at them a bunch.
Is it in there? I was kind of teasing with him that I looked for mine, because I didn't really. Cindy, we were gonna bring this meeting back to order, but you had us over the barrel because there wouldn't have been a quorum.
That's funny. Okay, we are now in public session again. Thank you. We are taking up agenda item number 16, hiring of the Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Nicole Powell. Do I have a motion?
I will recommend a motion to hire Nicole Powell as the new superintendent.
John made the motion.
Come on, John, finish that sentence. We need a couple more words. I'm the superintendent. It was a bad time to pause.
Oh, that's funny. High five, John.
I was just reading kind of fast there.
I would like John to reread that.
That is so funny. You got Mr. McIntyre sweating over here, John. Okay, so let me see if I can say this properly. John just made a motion to hire Nicole Powell for the Assistant Superintendent of Finance. And Julia seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Ms. Powell, would you like to come to the mic and say anything?
Yes, we would like you to come to the mic and say
Speech.
something.
I think I got it. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I know it's a big step. Been learning a lot. Spent a lot of time, just in case you didn't know, I've spent a lot of time here in Princeton ISD. I can now officially say I've gone kindergarten to assistant superintendent, not just kindergarten to director. But I did graduate from here. I come back here. I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to serving in a new capacity. We'll miss Ms. Boitman, but I got big shoes to fill. So, thank you.
Okay.
I'll miss you.
Pardon? What did you say? I'm sorry, Dwayne.
I just said I would miss her.
Oh, we're going to miss her. We're all going to miss her. So, but
Are we done?
Nicole's here. I'm fixing to get there. I just had to finish talking about Jonna and Nicole. Okay. Now we are on item number 17, which is adjourning the meeting. And since we have no further business, we are now adjourned at 8:05. Yay!